If you are still in a toxic relationship with a narcissistic woman, you're probably staying because of time. Time invested, years spent, memories made, children raised, a life built around her moods. And somewhere along the way, the question quietly shifted from, is this healthy, to, is it too late to start over? Today's episode is for the man who feels like the clock has already run out. The man who tells himself, I'm too old to leave her. I have already given too much. This is just my life now. Look, I don't care if you are 40. I don't care if you are 60. I don't care if you are 80 years old. The narcissist in your life will not change, but you still can. And if you stay, what you are really risking is not the relationship. You are risking the rest of your life. Now, by the end of this episode, I want you to see clearly what's actually keeping you stuck and what becomes possible the moment you stop negotiating with reality.
Welcome to the Narc Free Man Podcast.
Welcome back to the Narc Free Man Podcast. I'm Philip Dugas. The most dangerous lie men in toxic relationships believe isn't she loves me or she'll change. It's this: I have already invested too much to walk away now. This is called the sunk cost trap. You don't stay because it's working. You stay because you have already paid the price. Years of effort, years of compromise, years of swallowing your instincts. And I hear it constantly in my DMs. One guy told me that he has been with her for 22 years. And he said, I don't even know who I'd be without this marriage. I'd rather endure this than start from zero. But here's the truth no one tells you. You are not protecting your past by staying. You are sacrificing your future. Time already spent is gone either way. The only question is whether you are going to spend the next decade disappearing too. A narcissistic woman does not change because she does not experience accountability the way you do. She does not self-reflect under pressure. She does not bond through repair and mutual growth. Real change requires empathy, ownership, a willingness to feel shame without turning it into blame. Narcissistic personalities don't evolve through insight. They adapt through control. That's why you see cycles, temporary kindness when you pull away, promises during crisis, like I'll do better moments when consequences appear, but nothing ever sticks. Why? Because the problem was never her behavior, it was power. And once a narcissist has built a dynamic where your peace depends on her mood, or your safety depends on your silence, or your worth depends on her approval, she has no incentive to change. And what you are calling hope is actually conditioning. Men don't stay because they are weak. They stay because they are loyal, responsible, identity-driven, and conditioned to endure. You didn't wake up one day and choose this. You adapted. You learned which topics were unsafe, which truths caused punishment, which versions of yourself kept the peace. And over time, survival replaced self-respect. One man told me, I realized I wasn't living, I was managing. That's the quiet death of a man. Not screaming, not explosions, just slow erosion. And the longer you stay, the more you tell yourself, I'll leave later, when the kids are older, when things calm down, or when I feel stronger. But here's the brutal truth. Later never comes in a narcissistic dynamic, because the system is designed to keep you just functional enough to stay. Now, let me talk directly to the man who thinks he's too old to leave. Look, I've worked with men in their 40s who felt ancient, men in their 60s who felt broken, even men in their 70s who thought their story was already written. Every single one of them said some version of this. I wish I'd done this sooner. None of them said, I'm glad I stayed longer. Look, age is not the barrier. Fear is. Fear of being alone, fear of being judged, fear of losing identity, fear of starting from scratch, fear of admitting you waited too long. But here's what actually happens when men leave toxic relationships. Their nervous system calms. Their clarity returns. Their confidence slowly rebuilds. Their health improves. Their sense of self comes back online. Life doesn't end, it begins again. Leaving a female narcissist is not about courage, it's about clarity. You don't need to feel brave. You need to stop negotiating with fantasy. Here's what leaving actually requires. Number 1, accepting that she will not change. Number 2, accepting that your empathy has been used against you. Number 3, accepting that waiting longer will not make it easier. Number 4, accepting that discomfort now is cheaper than regret later. You don't need revenge. You don't need validation. You don't need her to understand. You need your life back. And that starts internally before anything external changes. Let me tell you what's on the other side. It's not perfect. It's not painless, but it's real. You wake up without dread. You speak without rehearsing. You make decisions without fear of punishment. You feel grounded in your own body again, and peace stops feeling foreign to you. You don't miss chaos once your nervous system remembers safety. That's what being narc free actually means. Not anger, not bitterness, freedom. Now let me leave you with this. If you stay, you already know how this ends. You just don't want to face it. If you leave, you don't know exactly how it will all unfold. At least the story is still yours. Again, I don't care how old you are. I don't care how long you have stayed. I don't care how many times you have tried. The narcissist will not change, but you still can. In the moment you stop wasting your life waiting for someone else to become different, is the moment your real life begins. If this episode hit you, stay with this work. Read, reflect, and get clarity. You are not too late. You are right on time. And if this episode resonated with you, do me a favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Or if you're listening to this on Spotify or iTunes, it would be awesome if you would leave me a rating and a review. Thanks for listening, and until next time, stay strong, stay steady, and stay narc free.